Tom here, FlipAnythingUSA. So on my blog, I share how I made my fortune in real estate. I wrote a book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate, bestseller on Amazon and Kindle. So today we're going to talk about Dan Pena. This is a video put out by, I guess it's a Dan Pena fan page. Building Real Men is the title. People have written me in the past and said, hey, Tom, is this guy fake or real? Please do a video on him. Well, look, here's the thing. I can tell you already, in the short time that I've watched Dan Pena, and I haven't watched very much of him, this guy's real, 100% real. I was really glad that I watched it and that somebody requested that I do, because I never really found anybody that was more like myself than Dan Pena. So let's take a look. Look, this guy, if you don't like hearing F-bombs and hearing pretty vulgar words in general, you better leave right now. But this is really interesting. I urge you to watch this. If you're somebody that want to make things happen and you want to, you really want to be a doer, then watch this. This is good stuff.
There's a reason why, for the YouTubers, why I'm so hard. You have never met anybody like me, and you probably never will, because you're a cunt with the vagina cream. I give you this vagina cream so you can rub it on your snaps, because you're all cunts. Only losers can. Only fucking losers chill.
All right, so hey, subscribe to my channel. Okay, so look, I'm going to make sure I got him. I'm going to play him at a little faster speed. That's what I always do. I'm going to push him up to 1.5 times speed. He doesn't talk that slow as some people, so I may have to slow him down a little bit. But let's watch it at 1.5 times speed. Just cover more territory. Time is money. I always say that. So let's watch this and get some information and see what happens.
People ask me, are any of you regrets, Mr. Peña, it's because you were so hard on your kids? No, I wish I was harder. And compared to how most of you were raised, they were like in Auschwitz. And like I told you, when I went off to the military and everybody's crying, and literally crying in their bunks at night. For those of you that have been through any kind of tough boot camp, crying. Now, and I hate these guys that use this fucking word boot camp about these other seminars. You wouldn't know a boot camp if it bit you in the fucking dick or the vagina. Boot camps are hard. These marketing boot camps, these fucking vaginas put on are nothing. They're a fucking, they have them in Fiji and they have them in, forget about it. Hell's Island is where they had to have these motherfuckers.
Yeah, you know what? When I hear him say that, what I really think about and makes me want to puke myself is when I hear a politician talking about how they're working hard for you, or they're really trying. They wouldn't know a day of work if they saw it. They're handing out other people's money. They're worthless. But anyways, let's keep watching.
But anyway, when I was in boot camp and the guys are crying at night, you could hear them crying themselves asleep. A couple of you that went to a boarding school cried yourself to sleep too. But that still wasn't a boot camp. Because they were away from their mommy and daddies in boot camp. But I thought it was a fucking walk in the park going to boot camp compared to how I was raised. I'm not demeaning any of these people that have been captured and put in prison camps like Senator McKay or in Auschwitz. And I'm not lessening any of that. But I could have lived through that shit because of how my dad raised me and prepared unknowingly, because he didn't have a father. He was preparing me for the real world. You guys are not fucking prepared. A couple of you are kind of semi-prepared, and that's why you're suffering. It is easier if you've got some education. Education will out. Not just education from good universities and schools that these kids went to, but education in the world, because they're not juniors. To me, you're juniors, but they're not 20 years old. All these guys, Ray, how old are you? 34? 31? We won't say Valerie, but Valerie's in the 30s. Right, Valerie? Yeah, okay. So they didn't just fall off the fucking pumpkin truck, okay? They've been out there. And they sounded like it. They have this je ne sais quoi, this special sauce from experience coupled with education. And now that I know we're a kindred spirit from Bear Stearns, whoa, c'est magnifique. But he's rather be known as, I think, a Goldman.
So look, you can tell right off, this guy's an articulate guy. He's been around. He's seen things. He's educated. And look, he's surrounded by a bunch of 31-year-old guys. I don't know if these guys are millionaires or if a lot of them probably are just, they're probably second-generation money, and their folks sent them there or paid for it. I don't know. I don't know all the deals on that. But what I can say when I hear him talking about how people say boot camp, and, it's like, again, it's like when somebody says, refers to somebody as like a Hitler or something. They don't know what Hitler is. I mean, it's silly. They make a comparison at somebody in jail like it's a concentration. It's nothing like a concentration camp. People use words to describe situations that are ridiculously out of proportion to what the circumstances they face. And so it sounds like he's had a little bit of a tough life as a kid. Me too. So I like this guy. Let's keep watching.
Sachs guy, because he is ex-Goldman Sachs. But I'm hard because it's hard, and I want you to be prepared out there. I want you to be like the fifth horseman of the apocalypse when you get out there, just fucking cutting, slashing, and shitting down everybody's neck. And even when you do that, it's not a guarantee that you're going to make it. And when I did this audition thing, showbiz is my life, and I was teasing because I was sitting right here and Mr. Peña, showbiz is our life. And I'm poking fun at it because I don't give a fuck. If the reality show happens, good. I'll reach a lot more people. If it doesn't happen, it's taken for fucking ever. Now I know why all these movies go over budget 900%. And Jesus Christ, we've been at this 19 months now. But that's why I'm hard. And this is not for everybody. I don't normally get promoted by other guys for all the obvious reasons that I just alluded to, which is fine with me. I wish them all luck, and they all got to make a living. I hope they make a good living. I hope they make a good living by trying to sell as little disingenuous shit as possible.
Well, I like to hear that out of him, what he just said. And it's interesting because, I saw some video with him with Dan Locke. And, golly, man, Dan Locke's got a lot of supporters or a lot of people that follow him. And I hear nothing but terrible things about Dan Locke. But Dan Locke uses the shit out of Dan Pena's appearance in promoting himself. I see that. But I also saw a video where Dan Locke was one of his students. I tell people all the time, look, I'm a good salesman. When you're a good salesman, when you can sell, when you really, really know how to sell, it's like a superpower. I could teach people how to sell all kinds of stuff. But the problem is, some people will actually kind of go to the dark side. They'll sell garbage and shit and misrepresent, and that's what he was saying. He realizes that with that statement he just made. He said, he hopes people don't, utilize stuff to sell a bunch of disingenuous crap. Happens all the time, and that's one of the reasons you see me speak to it in some of my videos on fake gurus and that sort of thing. Anyways, let's keep listening. I really enjoy this guy.
That's my, I'll be with him, And by the way, I'm not turning to being a Muslim. When I say these people write me this shit, I don't understand. Just because I say Allah be with you, and that doesn't mean that I'm converting.
I'll send you a burger for Christmas.
Yeah, burger. I'm not converting, guys. The Buddha be with you, But anyway, if any religion's fine with me.
Yeah, he's not politically correct. Great.
Pray or be devoted to some higher power. Now, I want to ask Joel, our Eaton boy, if you had to give a takeaway from what has happened here so far with you in 2 days, okay? What is, since Etonians have produced all these prime ministers and all the elite of Britain for several hundred years, from the Duke of Wellington down, what's your takeaway so far?
I suppose similar to...
Speak up.
Takeaway is that, so far is, there's nothing special about us, but then there's nothing special about everyone else in the world. We can achieve just as much as everyone else. We don't need to be intimidated by anyone else. But what I'm starting to understand is that there are no guarantees. It's really hard, and you have to believe in yourself. Really.
Faith. You have to have faith in yourself. My favorite British politician, and he's on the hall of my influencers, and I've studied him along with Hitler and a few others. John Fitzgerald Kennedy, vis-a-vis my public speaking, is Winston Churchill. And who really didn't give a shit about what anybody thought. It was pretty obvious. And Maggie Thatcher, who I had the privilege, I didn't know Mr. Churchill, but I did know Mrs. Thatcher. When I say no, I met her. I didn't know, we were not hanging out. We weren't hanging out at the World Cup. But I don't think Mrs. Thatcher hung out to the World Cup. And when I remember, she read chemistry. That's what you say when you study. She read chemistry at Oxford, if my memory serves me correctly. And she loved to cook, which is, when you think about it, she liked to cook. So I can just see her waddling around the kitchen for her husband named Mark. Dennis, excuse me, her son's name, Mark. Yeah. Waddling around the kitchen, which is a considerable dichotomy from her political career. It's hard out there. But if you want it bad enough, you can do it. And the easiest way, and it's not easy, but the easiest methodology is QLA that I know of. I've been doing it for myself about 45 years. And life does not have to be a process. Somebody asked me what I meant by that. It doesn't. Life doesn't have to be a journey. It's a process once you come here. And you dictate what the process is. And you're not subject to the whims of the rest of the world. You've got a 7-step marching order, which is the first we're going to start speaking about. The first 2 days of the seminar out of 6 was foundation. And now we're going to talk about the 7 steps. And there's no deviation. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then go back to 1 again. 7 is exit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back to 1 again. Hard because it's hard. I mean, it's a motherfucker out there if you're going to do anything with your life. And I would be disingenuous and I would be a shit coach if I didn't prepare you. These other guys don't prepare you for trying to get from A to B in the quickest time possible. Now, if you want to just fuck around and, that's great. For those of you that are, and we've got a lot of university-age kids here, if that's what you want to do, that's great. But this is the wrong motherfucking place to be, if that's what you want. There's all kinds of other people that do this shit and they're nice to you.
He didn't go into as much stuff on that video, but, the bottom line is this guy he's the real deal. He's really made money. He's really, he's in his 70s now. And, I tell people it's kind of, I tell my boys, okay? I told one of my sons this the other day. Because, my whole point of blogging is everything that I put down, it's for my kids to follow later on when they got an interest in real estate. Right now, they don't. I got 2 girls just graduated college. I got boys either going to enter into college or they're going to enter into business or they're going to be traders or they're going to do whatever they want to do. And they're going to follow their heart, okay? It doesn't matter to me what they do. I just want them to be happy. What I was telling one of them the other day, I said, son, just imagine, I said, how much more do you know about stocks today than you did 7 months ago? He goes, oh, Dad, I know so much more. I'm trading, his win rate is way higher. Everything's better, right? And so I told him, I said, son, I go, imagine if you had a time machine and you could kind of go back in time, okay? And you could say, hey, let me shortcut you here so that you're not making all these mistakes over the next 7 months. I'm from 7 months ahead. Let me tell you what you can do and you can save a lot of time. I go, that'd be great, wouldn't it? And he said, oh, yeah, that'd be great, Dad. I said, well, you know what, son? Everybody would love to have that. I would like to have it. I got no regrets in my life. But, boy, I sure wish I knew a few things that I could go back in time. And I'm not talking about Microsoft and investing in Apple and that sort of thing. Of course, that'd be great. But I'm just talking about, like, having confidence. Having confidence when you don't have confidence. Standing up and speaking out. Being assertive. You don't have to be an asshole or be aggressive, but you got to get out of your comfort zone. If they always say, remember this thing? I love sayings that have been around forever that survive the test of time, right? Like, pick yourself up, okay? Need a kick in the ass. Stuff like that. One of the things I want to say is things never change, but what I was trying to get with my son was, I said, son, I'm your dad. I said, nobody loves you more than I do. I'd give my life for you. I'd give my life for you, or anybody in the family, any of the kids. I told him, I said, I'm the closest thing you can have to a time machine. Nobody loves you more. I would never misguide you. Let me go back in time to where you're at and tell you some of the strengths and powers and things that you have that I can objectively tell you, look, you can do this. And believe me, because it's like, imagine it's you in the future going back and telling yourself. Because believe me, I know looking at you, I know that you in the audience, you guys that are afraid to go knock on a door, afraid to pick up the phone and make a call and ask for something, okay? I know you have these fears. These fears are unfounded, though. You're afraid of nothing. That's just fear, okay? That's what keeps you. And they say, and there's an old saying right there, right? There's nothing to fear but fear itself. And I tell people all the time that are fearful about different things, they got some real fears in it. I say, listen, 90% of what you fear is never going to happen. 90% of what you're afraid of is never going to happen. I can tell you right now. And you still got to look out for yourself. Don't walk into a dark alley. Don't put yourself in danger. But taking a step to go into business for yourself, okay? And that should be a one for everybody. Try to be self-employed. Be self-employed or have such a great job that you have choices, that you can drop the phone and you can leave. You can leave your office. You can leave your job site, okay? I worked hard, believe me. And he talks about adversity, and he talks about some of the greatest traits of people that are successful are martial arts. He also noted in another video, he said that like 70% of the people that are billionaires, I think he said, are introverts, okay? And I believe that. Now, I'm not an introvert. I was introverted when I was younger. I'm an extrovert now, okay? What he calls an alpha male. I'm somebody, it's hard, and believe me, it can be defeating. You have a hard time keeping your mouth shut. There's things like that aren't good. I tell my kids, you know what, let it go. Where, in all honesty, maybe I wouldn't. And it's not always a great trait. But the good part about being an alpha male is being fearless and going up and asking for what you want. If it's the prettiest girl, you see somebody you want to meet, you go over and just start up a conversation and talk. You know, you don't be afraid to talk. Okay, then, of course, you got to get knowledge. You need to know what to say. You need to know if you're going to approach somebody and try to talk them out of, talk them into selling you their property for the price you want to pay for it, or the car you want to buy for the price you want to pay for it. That's a little different. You got to think about that too. But some people are afraid to make a low offer. Okay, and there's no reason to be afraid to make a low offer. Ask for what you want, and consider, like he said, time is precious. Time is wasted. If you don't ask for what you want, then you're not going to get it. And if you don't ask for it today, guess what? Somebody's going to ask for what you want from that person tomorrow. And while you're warming yourself up, getting your courage up, it's going to be taken away from you. So anyways, this is shorter than I expected this to be. Hey, please subscribe to the station or my channel. And, if you like this video, let me know. If you hate it, you can go ahead and comment on that too. I'm going to do another video on him. I was disappointed this was so short. But, so look, if those of you that wonder whether or not Dan Pena is the real deal, I can tell you right now, the guy's the real deal. I am too. If you want to know anything about making money, if you want to make money in real estate the way I have, spend $9-10 on my book. I have a mentorship you can do as well. Oh yeah, one more thing right here, my mentorship. So I have a mentorship. I open it up cheap, so as many people that could get interested would go in, get in. I've had about 100 people now so far. But listen, can't do it this cheap anymore, folks. It's this is the page right here, just so you see it. This is real. Goes up to $9.99, and it's going to go up from there too. I feel like I'm doing my service to everybody that really, truly wants to get in the door. This is my page. Go to FlipAnythingUSA.com. This is one of my Zoom meetings, probably about 30, 40 people in this one. These are testimonials, people that made hundreds of thousands of dollars by their own estimation after taking my class. If you got an interest in making money in real estate, I've been doing it for 40 years. But this is real. Get in here before January 9th or the following month. Get in as soon as you can. But right now, just so you know, this $5.99 stuff is over very soon. And so join up now and you get in for $9.99. Anyways, that's it. Take care.